when you learn a language and you kind of master it, you can do whatever you want with it. Hello everyone, my name is Khadija. I am a 13-year-old and I study in the 2nd grade in Pythagore Junior. I have so many activities, including writing, golf, and also singing. And all these activities, I started doing them when I was pretty young, so I have some experience concerning those. I write stories and I write poetry. I've been doing that for like 4 years or 5 years now, because during the COVID period, I began learning English at home because, of course, I was stuck at home, so I couldn't find anything better than English to learn it, because I wasn't a good English speaker. Like, I didn't have that kind of level to kind of write stories or poetry. But once I started learning English and its rules and stuff, I really kind of fell in love with writing and poetry and all that stuff. So first I began writing some like small texts about some random topics. Then I began writing some stories, and later on I got into poetry. To be honest, my parents do support me, but they never like gave me the idea of like writing. They always tell me that you have the right to do whatever you want as long as you like it. So it was something natural, like it just came into my mind, especially when reading books. I also love reading books in English. So reading books, I was like, why can't I also write things like this? And it just happens like this, and you start writing, and yeah, it's fun. For me, it's like one of the funnest things in the world. I love writing, and everything about it just makes me happy. I like reading historical fiction, also fantasy, mystery, and also some slice of life, because some things that have something to do with your life, because you always learn one thing or two from a book. At first, it was hard for me to write something about a topic or write a scene or something, but when you practice and practice, right now the scenarios of my stories, they all come into my head naturally. I don't have to think about it because it became a part of me. It became a part of my heart. So when I write, it's mostly the enjoyment that every single time the enjoyment becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, and now I don't feel like I do any efforts. For me, writing is something that I do when I want to rest, and yeah, for me writing is just my peace. I feel peace when I write, and all the ideas that I get are all original and all from my head. Of course, nothing is original. You get inspired from people. You get inspired from stuff you read, from stuff you hear, and from people around you, because writing is emotions. The people around you inspire you. When I come to school, my friends, my teachers, the scenes that happen, they all inspire me to write something. Like when I go home, something happens, it inspires me. Something in my head, a scenario, a dream when I like sleep, a dream, it always inspires me. Right now, like every single thing inspires me. Even this moment can inspire me to write like a scene in one of my stories. Yeah, if I could write something, like if you can give me like, for example, somebody doing an interview somewhere, like for example like me, I have this sentence, I have only one sentence, and I can do like a full story out of it. At first it started with songs, listening to songs all the time. Still today, I listen to songs all the time because they're like the source that taught me English first. Then podcasts, I listen to podcasts, and yeah, it just started like this. And then as I progressed, it was reading books, reading articles, reading documents, reading poetry, and then trying to write. At first you mimic others' style, because to find your style you should mimic others, and like little by little you're kind of finding your style. And when you find this, trust me, you will do some incredible stuff with it. You will write some incredible stuff. So this is one of my poems that I wrote about being yourself. This poem's title's name is The Greatest Gift. In the world that's full of strife and hoe, it's easy to get lost and forget to glow. But the greatest gift you have, don't you know, is being yourself and letting your light show. Don't be afraid to stand out from the crowd. Your unique voice, let it loud and proud. Embrace your quirks and your flaws, that's a part of the beauty that makes your heart. In the world that's full of expectations and rules, it's okay to break free from the mold. Be true to yourself, don't let anyone fool you into being someone you're not. So let your light shine bright, like a beacon in the night, and don't be afraid to let your true self take flight. For when you are being yourself, that's when you're free, and that's the greatest gift of all you'll see.